Okay. Hey guys, it's Jennie Wolek with the Wolek Group, Keller Williams Realty in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am so excited to share my friend Alyce Dailey with you guys today. She's from Baltimore, and I'm going to let her tell a little bit of her story, but I know that it's been so cool over the years of getting to talk with my rock star agent friends. And something that was an aha for me is that all of the people that I have met and shared over the years have been because I've met you at training events. Is that
Yep.
a surprise that all of these top rock stars are attending all of these trainings over and over again?
We're just slow learners, really.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, the reason, and we had already talked a while back because we'd been in a mastermind group. I'd been with Seth, your husband, in a
Yep.
mastermind, and we met to get a time on the calendar. And then I was in the new Bold 2.0, and you guys are featured in Bold, and it reminded me to reach out
Yeah.
again. So I'm
So
super
glad you did.
excited. And let's just go into that. You just introduce yourself, where you are located, how long you guys have been in business, what percentage of your business comes from your database,
Hmm.
and then what your production looks like, what your goals are for next year. I'm just going to ask you a zillion questions. And then,
You're just giving me all the questions up front. All
yes,
right.
because I want this to be all about you. So ready, go.
Oh my goodness. All right. So
Welcome,
Seth and
Alyce.
Alyce Dailey, Baltimore, Maryland. And so I started as a solo agent, it'll be almost 15 years, 15 years ago. Um, like people, I don't think most of us say like, hey, I want to be a realtor when I grow up. It was, some life event that kind of just says, hey, I'm gonna try this out. And really, we don't try real estate. Real estate really tries us out and shakes us up and, to see what you're made of. So I came out of a career in human resources. I went to Remax. Just, I was kind of looking for brokers, went to Remax. We were there for 7 years. We grew and grew and grew and trying to figure out what do we do next. My husband joined me 3 years in to real estate. So if you're looking at a disc profile, I'm an SI, he's a DC. So we're very different. And he really saw, just the potential of, wow, what a great business opportunity real estate was. Because really when I got into real estate, I kind of felt like I was trading my master's degree to go sell used cars. Like that was the perception I had of real estate. And my family was like, I come from a lineage of doctors and engineers and lawyers. And they're like, what are we paying? We paid all this money for you to get all these degrees, and what the heck are you doing? And looking at just what a pure model real estate actually is to build an incredible business. And so he joined me. I actually hired an assistant 6 months out the gate. I was pregnant with our second daughter at the time I got into real estate. So we started growing this thing and realized we want more kids. So we had 2 kids at the time, and then was like, well, he was doing mortgages. I'm on the real estate side, and it's like, how do we do this bigger and better? And it was like, you know what? Why don't you come on the real estate side? And that enabled us to grow the business, but also grow our family and kind of start giving us some more balance. So our team does, 150 units a year. We've always been referral based. It's just what we love. It's where we found the most fulfillment. We've chased all the little, squirrels and, done all the other stuff and paid for leads and all that sort of stuff. But we just keep coming back to database and how fulfilling it is to work with people that we actually like and that like us. And yeah. And so, over 80% of our business is referral past clients. And we just, as much as we've tried to do other stuff, we see, people on stage and all this other stuff. We're like, no, this is who we are. We actually really like database stuff. And so we've grown our team to where, we're between 9 and 10 people. All of our admin are all licensed. So they're all licensed agents as well. We also launched a market center. So we opened a market center 4 years ago. So we own the market center here in Baltimore. And I also became a MAPS coach just to add something else in the mix.
Because you didn't have, anything else going on.
Nothing else going on, but full-time coaching is what I really enjoy now as well. And just helping people, just discover this journey of, because the more and more people I talk to, it just comes back to the same stuff. We, what gives us energy for a lot of people, it is like just working with people that we enjoy. So why don't we do more of it?
Yes. I remember years ago I had a substitute coach because my real coach was out for a couple weeks, and I remember sharing that the pain of needing to call these expireds and for sale by owners, and that I would actually freeze up and not call anybody.
Yes.
And she gave me permission. She said, "Well, don't do that." I was like, "Oh, it was that easy?"
Well, we feel like work should hurt us. Like
Yeah,
somehow, like if there's no pain, I haven't worked.
that's
And my best days working are days when I feel like I didn't work because I talked to all of my friends, but I was purposeful in the conversation. So if we can teach people how to be purposeful in their conversations with people that they already know, like, and trust, waking up every day can be a really great feeling instead
yeah.
of dreading it. But if I had started in real estate and somebody had handed me a phone book and said, "Hey, here, call all these people, we'll find somebody that needs to buy a house today," I would have lasted 7 seconds. There's no way. That's
Too.
just not how I'm wired.
All right.
It's just not who God created me to be. So why be
Yeah.
that? And I
Yeah.
think we see all these people on stage and we're like, oh, well, they're successful doing it that way, so I need to do it that way too.
Mm.
And it's, well, maybe if you're wired that way, but if you're not wired that way, why do it that way?
So you learned early on you needed to be true to you after, failing forward into some different areas. So now these days you're a database, events-based business, and it's more
Yeah.
fun. So share with those watching how you have grown it, how you started, and some of your best, most fun events and tricks and hacks.
So I think the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to events, I think events, the reason we started with events was just because it was like, what's the easiest way to invite people, like to make the phone calls? Because I have call reluctance. I hate picking up the phone just naturally. And I think now in a world, where we text people and like we try to be off the phone as much as possible, like even calling now feels even worse. Because it's like people are wondering why the heck I'm calling. They're screening the calls and all that sort of stuff. But I did the events to get rid of the call reluctance. Because if I'm calling you, Jennie, to invite you to something, I'm like Santa. I'm calling to give you something. And if you don't want to hear from me, I don't want to be calling you. Like, I don't need to have you in my database. But people that are in my database, like, they actually like hearing from me and they like receiving whatever it is I'm giving. And usually it's an event where they're coming to me. I'm not chasing them down. And the value is um, the value is there whether they come or not. Some of the best calls, right, are the ones where you make, they're not even coming and you get the referral. Like, how fun is that? So I think some of the lowest hanging fruit out there for people that are like, where do I get started? What do I do? I've talked about doing events forever. The easiest win, I think, are housewarming parties, because people that have just bought a house know a boatload of other people that are just like them that also want to buy a house.
All right. So housewarming parties had been a thing, and I know other friends have done it. We've done it, and we've fallen off of it. Let's dive on house parties, because I think everybody needs to be doing this. Because if you're in real estate, you have sold a house. You have a place to
Totally.
have an event. So let's
Yes.
talk about the whole system for you on that.
Yeah. Okay.
You're fun.
So there's so many ways. So here's my best advice on a housewarming party. Nobody knows how it's supposed to go. Okay? Because no one's ever thrown them one before. They're just so tickled that you're doing anything for them.
Yep.
That they're like, cool, how does this work? And then, we freeze because we're like, I don't know, how does it go? Cool, we get to make the rules. So this can be anything from, you can decide to do, I'm going to, provide pizzas. And pizzas are going to show up and you invite who you want. We tend to do more of the Saturday afternoon, 2 to 5, 3 to 5, like an open house sort of feel. So people aren't expecting a ton of food. They're just expecting drop in, drop out. You got soccer games, you got whatever. So Saturdays, like at that time frame, works for us. We have gotten to the point where we just have it catered by like a Mission Barbecue or something like that, where it's a system, right? So we show them the menu. They get to pick a couple things. Mission Barbecue drops it off. We stop by the house. We don't have to stay the whole time, but we stop by the house, shake hands, kiss some babies. We talk to our client ahead of time. And we're like, hey, who are some people that would be a good introduction for us? Because by this point, your clients already know who would be a good fit to work with you and who you need to know. They already know, based on working with me, like, hey, who are just my kind of people? Because I'm looking to meet more of them. I'm asking them, like, who else do you know that's as equally as awesome as you that I need to know?
Mm.
And I don't need to meet everybody in that room. I just need to leave with 2 or 3 people that are amazing that the host of the party has connected me to.
Wow, I love the pre-planning and really going from E to P on that, knowing and being purposeful and having a convo with the client. Because you already love the client, they love you. Hey, when I get there, just will you help me connect with some of your favorite people? I love that.
Because when you give something, people naturally want to reciprocate. They just don't know how because we haven't taught them how. So we teach people how to treat us, and that's how I want to be treated. I want to be treated with, hey, who can you send my way? That's just like you. Like, that's a win for me. But unless we communicate that to them, they have no idea. They're just going to say thank you and go on. So those are the people that when they say, like, oh, I've tried the housewarming parties, they don't work. It's not that they don't work. It's that we don't have good scripts around them yet, and we haven't become purposeful in what we're looking for out of the housewarming party. If you think, hey, I'm going to throw a housewarming party, I'm going to have it catered for them, and like referrals are going to drop from the sky, okay, that's a false expectation. The expectation should be more along the lines of, I'm going to give this gift of hosting this party, and I'm going to teach them that in return, here is what, here's how to reciprocate, because they want to reciprocate.
I love, love, love that. And the other cool part about housewarming parties is you're getting to grow your database because,
Yes.
of course, you're gathering the contact info of all their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to be the hero when you're there. They always give you a toast and say, here's my amazing agent.
Yeah. And all you have to do is you have to walk around the room and say, hi, I'm Alyce. How are you? What was your name? How are you connected to the party? And what's the next question they're going to ask me?
How's the market?
They're going to say, well, how are you connected? And I'll be like, oh, well, I'm the realtor that helped them find this house.
Yes.
Right. And so it's super easy to be connected. And then if you're a Keller Williams agent, this is a slam dunk. I used to be afraid when I would throw a party and like another agent would come to the party. Like, everybody knows so many agents, and people would invite other agents that would come to the party. I used to freak out over other agents coming to the party. Now I'm not freaked out by another agent coming to the party because, hey, I could invite them to a training at my office. They could potentially become a part of my profit share tree.
Nice.
Or if somebody is at the party and like, oh, I just bought a house last month. I used to get really down.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to know, hey, who's your agent? Did you love them? Because it's a really small community. I would love to meet them. I've gotten big wins from calling that agent afterwards to say, hey, I met one of your clients and they were raving about you at this housewarming party I threw. I just wanted to let you know that your client was raving about you. Like, how many points could I win there?
Yeah, you're just taking any scarcity mindset around and swapping it around and seeing all the abundance that's available. That's awesome. I love that.
So much.
Okay, so everyone can implement a housewarming party. You can do it on a very small budget. You can get help with vendor partners, especially if they have the inspector or the appraiser or the lender on the deal, right?
So these vendor partners love being a part of that because they don't want to have to go through all this stuff to plan the party, but they're more than willing to help and show up.
I love that. Okay, so what are some other fun ones that people can easily implement?
So I think from a cost perspective, if you're not doing the Thanksgiving pies or doing pies any time of the year, you totally need to be doing the pies. If you're not doing that on an office level, talk to your TL, have them, implement that on an office level. Because even if you're an agent that, might only have 2, 3, or 4 people come, if you do it at the office level, you just have so much synergy around that. So I think that's a big win, something we've been doing at the market center level. If you want to plan one for 2 or 3 weeks, even from today, I think the easiest one to do is a happy hour. And I love happy hours because you can pick them up and you can move them all around town. So we're in a geographic area where I know that if I pick this particular restaurant or bar, I know who's going to come because of who lives and works there. Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a lot of clients at Under Armour. They're not going to come where I am for a happy hour. So I call my favorite client at Under Armour. I'm like, hey, Kyle, like, if where do you guys go after work? What's somewhere you like to go? And I get like, hey, here's the place I like to go. I was like, all right, pull your calendar out. Like, I'd love to host a happy hour for you and some of your friends at work. When would be a good day for that? So I'm already getting a day and a time and getting his buy-in that he's going to be there. He's going to invite some friends. And then I find who else in my database lives and works in that area, and I'm inviting them. And then you don't need to get hung up over like, oh my gosh, like what if people drink like 10 drinks? Okay, well, we do it usually on a Wednesday at like 4 to 7. People aren't going nuts. You don't even have to provide the alcohol if you don't want to. You're hosting the happy hour. Maybe all you do is get appetizers and give them a drink ticket. Maybe you don't even do drink tickets. Maybe they do drinks on their own and all you're doing is appetizers. So, I mean, you could be in the whole thing for $100, but you're getting people together, and that's the gift. That's what's valuable. And we forget that. We think that we need to spend a lot of money to bring the value. And the value is never in the amount of money that you spend. I mean, I think about the Thanksgiving pies and the number of clients that we have that will pay $8 in tolls, $4 each way through the tunnel to come pick up a pie from us. They know that our pies come from Costco and they're $6.99. They know this. So why would they do it? Because the value is not in the thing.
Yeah. You know, we just had a team meeting here in our office, not our team, but as lead agents. And someone said he had a lot of fear around, oh my gosh, what if too many people come, or what if nobody comes? And I just shared an idea of, well, every one of our events we cap, and we have everybody RSVP through Eventbrite. So we started our events at a smaller number, and there is just a smaller number. So it's not this big question mark of hundreds of people showing up.
Right.
The ideas that you guys do when it comes to like how many are invited and how many really show up?
Well, yeah, I used to have that same fear about like, oh my gosh, what about everybody? What about nobody? The measure of a party to me, though, is the number of contacts that I make via the phone beforehand. It actually has nothing to do with the party. The party is like this much of it. The impact comes with the phone calls. So yeah, I'm just not afraid. I would love for everybody in the world to show up. I don't have that mentality anymore of, oh my gosh, what if everybody shows up? Like, I hope they all show up. The reality is it's just not how the world works.
Right. Do you have different events that cater, you already said location wise, do you have some that differ in size of family, singles, you know, lifestyle differences?
Yeah, and I think this is one of the most fun ways that we can let our own personalities come out, because I love seeing agents just build around your life and what feels authentic and real for you. So we've got 4 daughters, we've got 4 kids. So we've just gone, doing movie parties, and we usually pick a kids movie. I mean, my oldest is now 16, but she still loves the Disney movies, right? So we'll pick kids movies just because it works for our family.
Right.
And then we attract the people around that. So you always want to play red light, green light too with budget. So figuring out what your budget is really important. You don't need to start with the big, fancy, flashy parties. I think the movie parties are the ones that a lot of agents like and they feel like they need to do, but I don't feel like it's the most cost effective by any means.
Yeah. And I'll add, we did our first movie this year, and there were only 108 seats. So we knew that was the number of people that could come. Of course, it sold out. It was Lion King. We had tons of fun. We had face painting and balloons. And then after we're done with the event, we had no exit plan or strategy for saying goodbye to them. And at the same time, then I'm seeing you on the video saying what you do during an event. What do you do during an event, Alyce?
So during the event, people think, well, you must just be watching the movie. And the funny thing is that in all the 15 years we've been doing movie parties, I've never seen the movie at the movie party. I usually go see it before, or I have to see it after. So during the movie, I'm taking a list of people that, we're supposed to show up, because we're checking people off as they walk in. But it is mad chaos, right? Like people coming into a movie wanting to get their seats, and I'm looking to see who was checked off. I'm looking for who's not there. And as the movie starts, I'm texting the people and say, hey, Jennie, I'm at the movie. I didn't see you come in. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
Because people need to feel missed. These people are your tribe. They're your community. Like, these are your people. And if you wait until Monday morning when you're in the office to start calling people that didn't show up, how do they feel? Like, they might feel a little missed, like, oh yeah, she missed me.
They probably feel more guilty than anything.
Right. They feel guilt. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But like, it took 48 hours really for you to miss me. But if you get missed in the moment, that hits the heart. That's a big deal. And that's how you cement these relationships, and you tie them in with you for life. These are the things that they're like, oh my gosh, because they all feel like we're celebrities, right? real estate agents, we're kind of like local celebrities. So they look at us like we're a celebrity. So when you recognize them and say, hey, I see you, I missed you, I wanted to make sure you were okay. You've done more for that relationship in that one text than you could do all year long, dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Because that's what people want to know. They want to know that they're missed, that they're seen, that they're noticed by you.
Yeah. So right now it's the end of 2019, 2020, so close and around the corner. Do you already have your playbook built out for all your events for next year?
We do, because we have our staple events that are never going to change. And that's important too, as you create a tribe that people know what to expect. Because when they refer you, that's how they're going to refer you too. Because we have a big party always, that comes up like the end of January, early February. We call it a Frosty Party. When people refer us, they refer them to their friends and say, oh my gosh, and you have to get invited to the Frosty Party because it's so much fun. And people are like, what's the Frosty Party? Like, do they have like Wendy's Frosties? Like, what the heck are they doing? And for us, we just named it after Frosty the Snowman based on the time of year that we do it. And we usually pick the weekends between playoffs and Super Bowl, just because nobody has anything to do, and they're ready to start getting out after the holiday craziness. Because we wanted to plan a holiday party, but then we just found like we're competing against all of the other people that are doing parties, and we're like, we want to go to all of those parties too. So why compete? Why not just do it a little bit later and people are ready to go back out? So we love having it at our house. It works for us. So we have about 125 people over the house. We have live music, a bartender, good food, and people just know what to expect because we've been doing it every year. They know the movie party, they know the pie party, they know our Labor Day event. So they know that these things are there, and they start referring us that way. So it makes it really easy to build out for following years.
So share with me, of course, we've heard some of your asks and the way that you're making people feel special that definitely help generate referrals in business. I also hear from many agents that they don't know how to ask for the referral at the event. Do you need to ask for the referral at the event?
That's a great question. I usually do, because I don't think they don't mind that you're asking, because you're giving, right? Because the whole purpose of, you can, it makes it hard to ask for a referral when you've given nothing, because that's taking.
Nice.
But once I know that I have, from my heart, come from a place of generosity and abundance, and I believe in my own value to help people, my asking is more, hey, who do you know that I can serve? Who do you know that could use our help, that needs professional help navigating this market? But we tend to get the scarcity and the fear build up when we doubt our own value.
Yeah.
So that's more of a self-esteem issue. And I think, it's not so much how do you ask? You come from a place of service.
Yeah.
Who else can we serve? That might be, better words for some people, but we always let our clients know, we want to engage them in our goals. So we let them know what our upcoming goals are. Hey, we want to help 150 families this year. Who do you know that, in a house that's too small for them, that needs something bigger?
I like being specific on that too. That's a great point. Nice.
Because you'll get more referrals when you ask specifically. When I ask like, hey, who do you know that I could serve? That really opens, it's like, it's too wide of a net. But when I say, Jennie, who do you know that's just running out of space, like that you're going to run into over Christmas and the new year, that has just been whining and complaining about the size of their kitchen? Who do you know? Like, you'll come up with a name just by how I asked, who was whining about the size of their kitchen.
I love it. Now, we know the truth that it takes years to build up, to earn the right to be able to only have a database business. Would you agree? You're a coach and you see agents that maybe don't have this whole network yet. Does it take
I would challenge that for my own. I would challenge that I would challenge that limiting belief. So I started in real estate, moving back to Baltimore. I left as a high school student going into college. I didn't move back until 10 years later. So when I came back, I really didn't know anybody. The people I knew were like my friends' parents. that were still around, and they weren't using me to buy or sell houses.
Right.
In my first year of real estate, I sold 19 homes. I did a GCI of 103.
Yeah.
18 of those were all referral.
Yeah.
So can it be done? I think it can if you're purposeful about sticking to building relationships. Now, if my focus had been, well, I'm going to do some referral stuff, but then I'm also going to call some expireds over here, and I'm going to do this over here, I don't think the focus is enough
Right.
to really drive that home. But I grew year over year, every year, just by staying super focused on the relationships and giving and asking.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for challenging that, because I do want people to remove their limiting beliefs, to know that they can have this kind of business, even though, as you know, there's all the shiny objects and all the squirrels that we've already agreed shouldn't distract you. Maybe you can fold in, open houses, because that's related to your behavioral style.
Totally.
And that is in your same, vibe of how.
And then teach them how to refer.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes to an open house and doesn't have an agent, are they naturally the referring type? Probably not, because they didn't go get their agent by referral. So there's some people just in their DNA that Seth Godin would call sneezers, that just go out there and infect everybody. So Seth Godin talks about just this concept of sneezers. Like, who do you know in your life, Jennie, that like tells everybody about the restaurants that you have to go try, or the next movie you have to go see?
Yep.
Those are the people that you want to duplicate all of them, and you want them like to sneeze and infect everybody with your name, because they will. Because the reason people refer, like, why do people refer? People refer because it makes them look good. So if Jennie, if I refer you to my hairstylist and you love her, like, I get the credit for that. Like, it makes me look good when you have a really good experience.
Yeah. I love that. Now, another thing lots of people are asking these days, because we are so back to the basics, focused on database from the top of our company. Yay. I'm so excited. From the big stage, we're going all back to this. Yay. And are you, with your 36 touch, which we know probably is way more touches than 36 at the end of the day with all the events that we do, are these your phone calls to your database? Do you have separate phone call quarterly touches
outside of the events?
Yes.
No, I don't need them.
Okay.
I don't need them. Like, that's what's beautiful. It's like, how many touches do you want around an event? You can have as many as you want. I mean, you can do video, you can write a personal note, you make the phone call, you see them at the event, you call everybody, even the ones that didn't come after the event. You let people know that couldn't make it, that you missed them. And then and you're already inviting them to the next thing. So an event is good for about 90 days, and that, you'll see the cycle of the referrals come in, and then you need the next event to go from there.
Yeah.
But I love that you can just build it around who you are and just be so authentic. It's like, if you love wine and cheese, go do a wine and cheese event. If you like books, go do something related to books. Pick anything. Anything is a party. Anything is a client event.
What if I'm the kind of person that doesn't like people? I don't like parties.
So what's really funny is that my husband is not like a super people person, right? But as a DC, he like wants to be super effective, super efficient. And he knows, like, oh, I can get like all of these touches done in one event. In 2 hours, I can be done. He's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And what he'll do is, like, he likes the one-on-one sort of thing. So he'll like work the room in a way that it's like, okay, who do I want to have coffee with? Like, who do I need to be intentional about? I want to get together with this person and this person, and he'll tee it up to say something like, hey, I'll give you a call Tuesday. Let's grab lunch this week.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing at an event.
I love that. I love this. This type of business fits all behavioral styles.
Indeed. And you can build it. I mean, again, like, nobody knows how it's supposed to go. So you get to build it the way that you want to. Like, you might just like the 10 people sort of event thing. Do a bunch of those. You might like the 300 people one. Go do a bunch of those. It doesn't matter. Like, you win no matter what, as long as you're making the phone calls. The way people lose is when they start, and I know this by mistake, because this is what I've done and have had to dig myself out of a hole, is when you just start getting in this rhythm of hosting the events and you stop making the phone calls.
Ah,
You think, oh, well, they already RSVP'd. I know they're coming and I'll see them.
yeah.
Then I just became a party planner and a caterer.
Mm,
I just like took my status from here and just went,
yeah.
that's
That's,
all I became. If
yeah.
I'm not making the phone calls, you might as well just throw in the towel and say I'm a caterer.
Wow. That is a really good, mind-blowing way to wrap up our conversation here today. I love it that you've helped remove so many limiting beliefs that agents may have around it. And at the end of the day, this was huge from Mega Camp, right? What did we talk about?
Yes.
Profitable. And this is the
Yep.
way you are profitable.
Profitable, not only related to dollars, but I think just with your time and
Energy.
just quality of life and energy, all of those things, because this industry will eat you up and chew you up, spit you out. Like we work so hard that if we're going to work hard, we might as well be smart about it too and really have a holistic life that we enjoy.
I love all this. Thank you for sharing and passing on the message to all of our agent friends so that they have the most amazing life, the most
Yes.
amazing referral based business and have fun while doing it. So, what's a way that people can reach out to you guys if they had a referral for your area?
You can send it to me at Alyce@thedaileygroup.com, and it's Dailey, Alyce at the Dailey Group. Or if anybody wants to talk about coaching too, MAPS coaching, I think, is a great way to build that referral-based business.
It absolutely is. Thank you so much, Alyce. And I will
Thanks,
see
Jennie.
you real soon. If you guys need anything from me, my number is 918-706-9845, and I will see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, Jennie.